Hey everyone, and welcome to Lounge TV. We got a chillin' and grilling for you. I'm Tom, by the way, in case you didn't know. So let's just get right into it. We're making a delicious side dish based on well, actually, I'll get to that because we'll have a little bit of time to kill, and in the meanwhile, we'll wait for some pasta to cook. Speaking of which, first ingredient we got: angel hair pasta. We'll also need some olive oil, parsley, oregano, basil, pepper, salt, butter, garlic.
Alright, stop. Don't do that.
So what? That's the joke.
Oh, okay.
Parmesan, heavy cream, milk. There. Is that better?
Yeah.
You don't understand comedy.
No.
You don't know what it's like
not.
to be funny.
Apparently not.
Anyway, so we've got already some water on the boil. Really, this dish is very quick. Please don't drop the camera in the water. That would be very bad.
Yes, it would.
Skillet next to it, we'll need that too.
I don't need to show a
Yeah,
skillet.
you need to show a skillet. Yeah, the water's boiling. Once that comes to a rolling boil, then we can get started with that. And we're not just having pasta with this meal, but we're just doing barbecue chicken. You feel really close right now. Anyway, we're also having some grilled chicken that Dad is cooking out back, but you know, it's just kind of basic marinated grilled chicken. Some barbecue sauce on it. It'll be good, but that's not the focus. The focus is on this side dish.
The focus is right here.
Well, that's the zoom. The focus is automatic.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, once that water starts boiling, then we can get started. Everything kind of happens all at once, so...
So you want to prep everything ahead of time?
Yeah, it's good to prep everything ahead of time. So we'll come back just showing just the amounts of everything. That way you just have it all ready to go. You're not just like, oh, what else do I need? While you're trying to actually get stuff going.
Exactly.
Alright guys, we got all our ingredients all measured out and spread out here. So, here's the thing. With the recipe that we got, it's really only set for like 2 servings, which really isn't that much at all. So, we went and tripled the entire recipe, and made a few modifications here and there. So, I'm going to be reading it off in the converted, but I need to know exactly what it is so that I know what to call the conversion properly. Unless we already changed it a bit, which we have for some things.
Okay.
So, first off is going to be the pasta. We're going to use about half of the box, which is what's left. About half of the box.
About a half a pound then.
Yeah. Olive oil, it says to use about a tablespoon, but we're using it just to cook the garlic, so while that would be 3 tablespoons of olive oil,
Which is about a quarter cup.
which is about a quarter cup, which is what we'll probably be using about, but you don't have to be too overly perfect with that.
You can always add more later.
You can always add more later. So, then we've got our seasonings. Parsley, basil, and oregano. You won't find these at Scarborough Fair.
No
Parsley
time.
will, though.
No time.
No time, though. So, it's going to be 3 teaspoons of parsley, 2 teaspoons of basil, and 1 teaspoon of oregano. All that is in this here dish.
And you can use the fresh herbs too. It's just that the conversion is a little different then because you need more fresh herbs than dried.
Right, because the dried herbs are more potent.
Right.
So they will have a stronger flavor, and, well, you don't want to overdo like the basil or something.
No.
That'd be silly. Who does that?
We do. And then we fix it.
Shush.
And then we fix it.
Well, yeah, we fix it, but you know,
Okay,
we're
alright.
perfect cooks. We do everything right the first time.
Oh, of course we do. All right.
This is a refined recipe.
Did not mean to impugn your cooking ability.
Darn right. So next up is the garlic. And we have about a heaping tablespoon of that.
Because we like garlic.
Because we like garlic. And it needed a little bit more garlic. Here we've got salt and pepper. That's,
About 2 teaspoons of salt and 1 teaspoon of pepper.
yeah, about 2 teaspoons of salt, 1
Sure.
teaspoon of pepper. 4 tablespoons of butter. Might be a little
This
bit
is
much.
not a healthy dish, is
You
it?
could probably cut a little bit back on the butter if you want.
Sure.
But
Add more olive oil though.
we're going for restaurant quality, so more butter.
Absolutely.
We got 3/4 of a cup of Parmesan cheese.
Can you use grated cheese instead of shredded?
Oh, of course. In fact, grated is actually what the recipe calls for.
Oh, there you go.
And we got half a cup of milk.
It's a little more than a half.
It's a little more than a half.
That's okay.
And the heavy cream, we're just going to be putting as we call it, a glug in there. I suppose it would wind up being like
It's a little bit more than a splash.
a little bit more than a splash, but I mean, like in terms of an actual measurement, probably what, like
Quarter cup?
yeah, quarter
Maybe a
cup.
little more,
if-
maybe third?
It's somewhere between a quarter and a third of a cup.
Yeah.
If you want to get like overly measuring with it. Cooking is not an exact science, but it's very close to science.
There you go.
And science is fun.
Science is awesome.
Especially when you science out a delicious pasta dish.
That's right.
So once that water is boiling, which it actually is right now.
It looks like it's boiling to me.
What do you think? Should we just hop right into it?
Why not?
All right. We'll just put that down. First, let me put the garlic back because that needs
Sure,
to be
why not?
separated. That works.
What you gonna do first?
What I'm gonna do first is take the pasta because the pasta takes.
I think I got steam on the lens. Sorry.
Yeah, you don't want to put the camera directly over that.
Yeah, I think I did.
That's all right. You'll learn it eventually.
Oh, thanks.
So anyway.
Are you gonna break your pasta?
So, it pains me, but yes.
Mm-hmm. It fits in the pot better that way.
More so than that, when you stir it, it gets very congealed, let's say.
Yeah.
So it gets really, really hard to stir. So it's gonna hurt. I know it's not just gonna hurt me, it's probably gonna hurt a lot of you out there. We're gonna get a lot of Mamma Mia's in the comments. I didn't quite get all of them. Don't worry, my hands are clean.
You're making a mess.
Slightly.
All right, you'll clean it up.
Exactly. The rest of the pasta. Like I said, I'll clean it up.
I trust you.
Alright. Got all that together.
You can pick those up later.
Yeah. Alright, get ready for pain. Oh no! It broke.
You probably should have done that over the water because those little pieces kind of landed everywhere. So whatever.
Again, I'll clean them up.
All right.
Alright. Add that in. Add that in.
Add in the other little pieces.
Yeah, I mean, the countertop's clean too.
You don't want to waste them. There's one more over there by the tongs. How much time did you set that for?
I set that for 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 whole minutes.
You probably want to stir the pasta so it doesn't stick together, right?
Too. Why is there butter on the fork?
Because I use it to cut the butter.
It's supposed to be a stirring fork.
It's not going to hurt the pasta.
Well, especially not since I just wiped it off.
Okay.
Alright, stir that up. You don't want it to stick together. Because let me tell you, angel hair pasta has a tendency to just be like...
It will do that.
Oh, you're not going to stir me? Haha, get ready for super noodle. Alright, that's nice and stirred up. So, now, remind me if we said we were going to go right into...
Well, since that's got 4 minutes to cook, why don't you go ahead and start warming the pan.
Let's start warming up the pan.
Take out the pieces of pasta first. There you go.
There we go. Alright.
Not that high. Just below medium. Just below medium. There you go.
Alright, now start heating up the pan, and then we can add the olive oil, proceed with that once that's done. So, while we wait for that, and interrupt me whenever is a good time to keep going with this, we used to always get the... Huh?
Never mind, go ahead.
We always used to get these passeroni boxes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's pretty much what we're trying to make here, and it was really good. It was a nice, like, creamy pasta dish. It worked really great with practically anything. It worked great with practically anything. And I'm getting, like...
He's getting hand signals.
I'm getting extra instructions when I'm trying to tell a story.
About passeroni.
About passeroni and how we have not been able to find it anywhere.
Supposedly they still make it, but it's not in
Not in our area.
It's not in the stores where we shop.
And it was always a really great side dish for like barbecue chicken, such as what is being made, or like steak, like a nice New York strip steak, just put on the grill, like practically anything. Practically almost everything passeroni goes good with. So this
oil in the pan.
Yeah. So we decided to make our own. Long story short.
There you go.
Alright, so this oil, like I said, it's supposed to be, what, 3 tablespoons?
3 tablespoons.
So,
glug, glug, glug. Glug. Glug.
Glug.
Glug.
Glug.
Good job.
Maybe a little bit more violent than I'd originally intended, but
Yeah, it's still
that
works.
lid
And the
is-
butter goes in there too.
Yes, and the butter goes in there.
And you don't want to wait until that oil's hot before you put the butter in because it'll splash and it'll burn you.
Yes. And the garlic, that should just be tossed right in, shouldn't it?
No, not until the butter melts.
Not until the butter melts. Don't worry, I'm not letting the fork actually touch the titanium pan.
Okay, so spread that out some.
Yes,
So because you have one thing of butter that's not even touching the pan.
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
There, now it's touching the pan.
There you go. Surface area.
Yes,
it's all science.
surface area. It's all science. I know science.
Now that might look like a lot of oil and butter, but remember that's going to be spread out over all the pasta.
Right, so we have half a box of pasta that all this oil and butter is going to go with. What?
Use the tongs, stir it up. Just making sure it doesn't stick. You only have a minute and a half left, so you're going to want to make sure you have some way to drain that soon.
Correct. Which I know what I would like to use, just because it would take up less room in the dishwasher.
Well, that's your call.
In fact, let me just go and get that just so I have that on hand.
What is it you're getting?
That's great.
Aha! Look at that.
Yep.
Much less room in the dishwasher.
Yes.
You just got to be careful because sometimes it slips out on the side of the pan.
Yeah.
Ah, I hear sizzling. You know what that means?
Sizzling, which means it's probably time to add in that garlic.
Time to add in the garlic.
Alright, I'll use the fork to take it out.
I think
Why
you
not?
can use a fork for that. Get closer to the pan so it doesn't splash as much.
Well, that's why I went slow so it wouldn't splash.
No, that doesn't work that way.
Well-
Physics isn't like that.
Well, I hate physics. I like science, I hate physics.
That's nonsensical.
And I don't care. Mix that all up and around. You want to get all that garlic with all that butter and all that oil. So mix that all up together.
Mixing.
Alright, so the pasta's just about to be done. I'm going to put another like 2 minutes on that just so that we have a rough idea when that's going to be done.
Yeah, that's what our garlic looks like.
That's what the garlic looks like. It is a sizzling.
Okay, so we're going to turn that on low to make sure we don't burn our garlic.
Correct. Nobody wants burnt garlic.
Burnt garlic just tastes nasty.
That's a real lovely sound, ain't it? Alright, drain out the pasta. Because the nice thing about pasta is that once you drain it, it can just kind of sit.
It can, because we're putting a lot of oil and butter and stuff on it.
Yeah. Oh look, we have a special guest.
Oh, look at that! Who's visiting?
Pay no attention to the bald guy behind the what is it? Behind the
curtain.
curtain.
The guy with the
Barbecue sauce.
with the barbecue sauce.
Oh, I already had a case of a piece of the chicken. Yeah, you have to put the camera on me actually.
I know, I realized.
Outstanding.
Awesome.
Outstanding.
It's draining. And with that, our pasta's finished draining. That's right. Over here on the stove. I'm working on it.
It's almost done.
Let's just get that off the side. Yes, I'm getting to that. Now, at the same time, we're going to be adding in these because the
Herbs.
the herbs need to hydrate.
And we had dried herbs. We didn't have fresh this time, so.
If we had fresh, then we would have used fresh, and we probably wouldn't have added them in right now.
No, those would have gone in a little later.
Yeah.
But we want those herbs to flavor the oil with the garlic and all that.
Exactly. The main point of this is that this is herbed angel pasta, angel hair pasta.
That is correct.
I don't know, I kind of like the title of herbed angel pasta, don't you?
I like it.
That's good. Well, thank you. All right, so that's been the 2 minutes. I think this is probably close enough to done, if not done. Mm-hmm. Let's take it off the heat.
Take it off the heat.
What's that?
Okay.
All right.
And we're going to come back in a couple minutes? Is that what
We'll
we're
come
doing?
back in a couple minutes. All right, so what you guys are going to want to do with this is you're going to want to take your pasta and you're going to want to get that all into your oil and garlic and butter that has been cooked. Try and get all that pasta in there. You don't want to...
Don't leave one behind. No pasta left behind.
Exactly. sometimes it's a little bit easier said than done. That's just shredding
okay.
apart.
We're just gonna ignore that
So
pasta.
that pasta is
We're ignoring that pasta.
ignored. Okay, now we're gonna be adding in the salt and the pepper.
Okay.
Just kind of make that all
Okay.
spread out. Good enough. And now we're gonna wanna mix that up. Because the pasta is going to absorb the liquid. So we wanna get that as mixed up as we can get it. We can bring it back to the front so
Absolutely,
it's
you
easier to manipulate.
So the oil and the butter is going to coat the pasta, and you're going to be spreading the herbs and the garlic around. Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. And kind of.
Why did we want to wait to put the cheese in?
Well, because the cheese is going to be congealing, so you don't want to put the cheese
It
in.
gets really sticky, doesn't it?
Yes. It's already not exactly the easiest thing to mix around.
Right.
Just because
Good
there's so
thing
much
you
of it.
broke it.
Yes. I know what I said earlier, but we made that mistake last time. We did not break it, and it was a huge pain to mix around.
It's looking much more uniform.
Yes, it is. All right, just mix it up just a little bit more. Make sure that everything's in there. It's still nice and hot.
So it'll cool down some when you put the milk and stuff in. I would mix
Yeah.
that around a little more.
A little bit more. All right.
Just that part right there. No.
We got to mix it around with everything else.
Oh, I know, but it was a big clump. There you go. I'll separate out those clumps. There you go. It'll mix easier with the milk and the cream in it too.
That it will.
What are you gonna do first, milk or cream?
We're going to do the cream just because that's a smaller amount.
Okay.
So I would
How
say...
much were you doing again?
Roughly a big splash. Which,
Big splash, which turns out to be a glug.
Nah, it's more than a glug.
More than a glug. Okay.
I'd say
I
more
thought a
than a
splash
glug.
was smaller than a glug, but okay.
It's a big splash, though.
Oh, it's a big splash.
Exactly, big
All
splash.
right. Big splash. Here we go.
So, if you want to put that to a numerical term, probably between a quarter cup and a third, somewhere between
All
that.
right. Sounds like a plan.
All right, so a little bit.
You can always add more later, right?
You can always add more later, for
All right.
sure. So yeah,
It gives it a bit of richness.
Exactly. Very creamy. Everybody loves it. And we also add in the half cup of milk.
Okay.
And second verse, same as the first. Mix that all up and around.
If it ends up that it cools down your pasta too much, can you put the heat back on before you add the parm?
Probably would be a good idea.
I think
would
you
say.
can. I don't know how much cooled off it got, but I think you could if it does get too chilly. Because you're adding cold milk, you're adding cold cream, you're going to add cold Parmesan cheese.
Exactly. And you want that Parmesan to melt.
You do. That's why we're using a non-stick pan. Because when we did it in the other pan, what happened?
It all got stuck to the
It all
pan.
got stuck to the pan. It was not nice to clean.
And this is very nice to stir, though.
It looks good.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be even better with cheese in it.
Even better with cheese. All right.
Is it time for cheese?
I think it's time for cheese.
When it's time for cheese.
I don't even know what that song is, but
That's okay.
anyway.
Only old
we got
people know
our
that.
3/4 cup of Parmesan.
Parmesan cheese.
We got a mixture of grated and shredded. Just because we had some grated that we need to get rid of. My voice.
And we had shredded enough to make up for the difference.
Oop. That all came out.
That's perfect. Look at all that cheesy goodness.
It's a lot of cheese.
You're wasting
Oh, it's
the
fine.
cheese.
It's
You're
fine.
wasting cheese.
I'm not wasting it.
You did. That right there. You wasted that.
Look, my arm's in the way, but I can't see it. It didn't happen.
I can see it.
No, you can't.
The camera people can see it.
No, you can't.
The people on the other side that are watching right now, they can see your wasted cheese.
So you want to mix that around.
That looks really good.
It does. I am excited for
I am hungry.
this pasta. Using, don't think we mentioned it, but using the rubber tongs because this is a non-stick titanium pan and we don't want to scratch that up by using a fork or something.
I think that looks ready.
I'd say to mix it up just
Are you
a
going
little
to taste
bit
test
more.
it?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Am I gonna taste test it? Come on. All right. It's all nice and mixed up. Take a fork. Stick a fork in it.
Stick a fork in it. See if it's done.
Yep. You know what?
What?
It's pretty darn perfect.
Even better than the last time?
I think even better than the last time.
Awesome.
All right. So with that, we got the side done. I'll show you how it looks. You know what? Now we got this entire thing of pasta right here. Take a look at that. Very nice. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said before, this goes great with, like, you know, if you're in the middle of summer, if you're barbecuing chicken, or, like, you know, any time of year really, whatever you're making, it's a very, very good side dish. Okay, maybe if you're on like a low carb diet, maybe not, but
It's tasty.
That's your problem.
It's tasty.
I'm sure that there's probably like low carb.
No, not well.
no,
Maybe rice pasta.
See, that's what I was thinking. Like rice pasta would be maybe a little bit better. I mean, I don't really know how that works. Luckily, I'm not on a low carb diet.
I think if you're low carb, you might as well not make that.
Yeah, but if you're not, this is gonna be
there
great.
You go. There you go. It's darn good.
All right, so I don't have a drink nearby, so till next time, grab something cold to drink, put your feet up and relax. I'll meet you at the lounge with some delicious pasta.